What's going on, Packers fans? Aaron Nagler here after a big win on the road for your Green Bay Packers. That's right. Packers go down to Arizona and take care of the Arizona Cardinals. And it wasn't easy. Certainly a very, very frustrating game to watch. But I will say, and I know all the Eeyores out there aren't going to want to hear it, but that was a gut check win and a testament to Matt LaFleur and his team for overcoming a whole bunch of obstacles to win a game on the road where they did not look good for the majority of the game. They did not look great throughout the first three quarters in particular. But when push came to shove and it was time, they absolutely answered the bell. I will say there's little doubt that a lot will be talked about over the course of this season about the type of team they are, how they approach the game. And I do think the turning point may have come that late fourth down where you saw the kicking team trot onto the field. LaFleur apparently fine to try to tie the game, but then bring the offense back on, convert that fourth down, and go ahead and score a touchdown at the end of that drive. Feels like a fulcrum. Feels like a moment upon which this entire season could swing. Because this is a team that just needs to get out of its way. There's little doubt that they have talent everywhere, all three levels on defense, everywhere on offense, yet they continuously make the game a little too difficult. They need to get out of their own way. They need to get out of their heads. Little doubt that as we go along here throughout the season, you'll see, I think, a lot more cohesion. This team being able to kind of play a lot more complementary football, which we saw in spurts today. Certainly not throughout the entire contest, but it does feel like a gut check win and something they can build off of as they head into a monster contest, obviously, next Sunday night in Pittsburgh. But for the time being, phenomenal outing, phenomenal work to get the victory. And I cannot begin this chat without shouting out Micah Parsons. What an absolutely dominant performance up front from, a guy who we talked about all week, certainly didn't produce the holding calls or any of the stuff that we talked about throughout Monday through Saturday. But man, on Sunday, this cat comes to play. He has zero chill. He has an unquenchable fire within his belly to get after the quarterback, which he did 3 times today, put the QB on the ground 3 times, and also affected the play continuously. Down in and down out. This guy is a superstar. When the Packers end their 2025 campaign, however it ends, whatever their final record is, this game in particular, Micah Parsons gets a W next to his name. He absolutely controlled the football game every time they needed something to happen. He made it happen. Whether it was knocking him out of like the ability to get a touchdown in the red zone, whether it was putting the quarterback on the ground because they were about to convert and keep a drive going. Parsons was everywhere, and he was absolutely owning the line of scrimmage. And that's just phenomenal work from a guy who I know we've heard a lot about the lack of sack numbers. Well, there's 3 for you. That's on top of all the pressure and havoc he creates up front. Really great work from Parsons today. What's going on, everybody? Good to see everybody in the chat chiming in. Lots of opinions, lots of stuff to talk about. What's going on, Tommy? How are you? His name is Micah Parsons. His name is Micah Parsons. Couldn't agree more. That is correct. That is his name. Joe, what's up, man? Road wins are gold no matter how you get them. Thought Gary's strip sack kind of turned things around. Offense turned 2 short fields into touchdowns. Joe, couldn't agree more, especially in regards to road wins. I saw someone in the chat responding to you, well, after you trade for Micah Parsons, road wins are expected. Sir, whoever tweeted that or texted that or inputted that into YouTube, you do not know ball. Joe knows ball. Yes, 1,000%. Every road win is gold. It doesn't matter if you have the Monstars on your team. 1 billion%, Joe. Could not agree more. Gavin, how are you, buddy? Gut reactions. This is why you pay Micah. Jordan was really good when he needed to be. Jacobs is the man, and Hobbs is hard to watch. Yeah. I mean, I want to stress the positives here, right? You are 100% correct. That is why you trade for and pay Micah, no doubt. Jordan was really good when he needed to be. A number of conversions, certainly plays both with his arm and with his legs. Great work from Jordan Love. Nate Hobbs could not be more disappointing. Absolutely. Especially when you consider how good he looked this summer going up against his own offense. He did look the part and he looked like he would be a difference maker. But holy cow, whatever aggression, whatever physicality, any glimmer of positivity that we saw from his game out on Ray Nitschke Field this summer has been completely MIA in the regular season. I tweeted it out, and it brings me no joy to say it. Gutekunst and his pro personnel group have done phenomenal work in free agency over the course of the last however many years, right? But wow, they seem to have really whiffed on both Hobbs and Aaron Banks, who has also not covered himself in glory this season. It's unfortunate, and that is somewhat the danger when it comes to free agency. But to my point earlier, they've done really good work, usually almost across the board. If they sign someone in free agency, they have been a net positive. Both of those players have been a net negative so far. Now, that should be underlined and italicized and emphasized so far. There's still a lot of football left to be played in 2025. Hopefully, both of those guys turn it around. But Hobbs in particular today was hard to watch. I do think it is time to start the conversation about maybe Valentine should be starting on the outside. Hobbs should be kicked inside and rotating somewhat with Bullard, dependent on the matchup, right? It's been hard to watch. No question. Tyler, thank you so much. All 4 wins with 27 points scored in all of them? What is this sorcery? This is clearly a nod to the football gods and saying we will win, but only if we score 27. Take with that however you will. Porkmaster, how are you, man? So happy we went for it on 4th and 2. Happier they made it look easy. Finally, let's go. I mean, none of it's easy, but they did make it look that way, right? And it did seem like Jordan knew exactly where he needed to go with the ball. And I will say, I said at the top of the chat, it feels like a fulcrum upon which this season can swing. That was a gutsy call from LaFleur, and I'm glad he finally made one. No doubt. Michael, how are you, man? Winning on the road is hard, and the Packers just got a road win. That said, is it just me, or do Matt LaFleur's end of half timeouts always seem to backfire? I don't know if you noticed, but Lucas Harvasek hit a 61-yarder to put up 3 points on the board, which plays out into the outcome where the Cardinals need a touchdown at the end of the game rather than a field goal. And that was Matt LaFleur at the end of the half. I was very much of the opinion, if you watch the watch party, you know, why are we running a play? I had no idea. There were 7 seconds left. I thought for sure they were going to kneel, get into halftime, read the riot act, and come out in the second half. But no, they went for it. Hit Dobbs, 1 second remaining, kick a franchise record 61-yard field goal. Tip of the cap to Matt LaFleur. Didn't change his stripes there. You're talking about Matt LaFleur's end of half timeouts? They don't get that off without those timeouts. I'm not saying, I'm just saying. You got to give credit where it's due. I get they didn't stop them, but without those timeouts, the timeout on defense, they don't possess the ball to go kick that field goal and long-term win the game. It's all part and parcel. Steve, what's up, man? Steve-O here. Cheers, Nags. Cheers, Cheeseheads. Enjoying a Luigi's Victory pizza here in Chicago. Favorite quote of the watch party from Banky. He took out the cameraman and a cop. Is that a felony? I believe that was Golden, yes, as he got pushed out of bounds. I'm glad to hear you're eating Luigi's because, man, that stuff is tasty. And now, oh, man, now you just got me hungry. Kevin, how are you, man? Love seeing Parsons just wreck a game. Do you think Halfley will adjust to teams doing all of these short passes a little bit, or is it good to force teams to play dink and dunk? Also hoping Valentine can get some run. Go, Pack, go. Kevin, very much agreed on the last point as I just talked about. And at some point, there's only so much adjusting you can do, right? I would like to see him maybe try to dictate a little bit more. And you saw glimpses of it. I mean, he sent, I believe it was Evan Williams on a safety blitz early. I think it was in the first drive. But at some point, if they want to dink and dunk, which clearly the Cardinals were content to do, it's real hard, man, because if you come up and you do press and you want to play up in their grill, so to speak, at the line of scrimmage, it's real easy to convert to a fade or convert to a 9, and then all of a sudden you get run past. You know, Halfley is at the mercy of the talent that he has on hand. And this crew at corner playing press man, it's probably not what you want to see. So at some point, they're going to have to live with it. And I mean, look at the first drive in particular. That's a perfect example where no doubt frustrating. They take a little over 7 minutes to score 3 points. Now, clear, that's the game plan. That was the game plan for the Cardinals. They want to possess the ball. They want to run clock. They want to keep the ball out of the Packers' hands and keep Jordan Love on the sideline. But not being able to capitalize there kind of sets the tone, right? We're fine. The Packers are fine if you spend over half a quarter, and producing 3 points, right? Much more problematic was the touchdown to McBride at the end of the half. That is inexcusable. That is the one guy you know is going to hurt you / be able to kill you, and you let him off free release, get into a corner route in the really soft part of the zone. Like, if you're the defensive coordinator, whoever you are on the sideline calling that play in, whoever you are in the huddle, the final words for each points on that chain has to be, McBride cannot beat us here. I don't care if you have to fall off, whatever your responsibility is, you cannot let this guy beat us. Because you know that's where they want to go. That's the one star they have on their team. And the Packers just let him loose in their secondary for an easy touchdown. That, to me, is way more egregious than letting the offense dink and dunk, because that's going to happen. And that's fine. Badger Trio, what's up, man? Let the Rodgers week hype start. Micah ready. Let's hope so, man. Yeah, and I'm glad you said it. Like, let it start. Man, I saw way too much shit about the Steelers game this week. This is why. Today was why. You don't worry about 2 weeks from now. You don't worry about a game after the game they're about to play. You worry about this game. Man, I didn't give a shit about anything Steelers or Rodgers this past week. Now, let's go. Now I'm ready. Nuclear Family, what's up, man? 4-0 when we score 27. Let's just do that every week. I mean, this seems easy. This seems to make a lot of sense to me. I'm with you, man. Pete Arb, what's up? Got off work during the 4th and listened to the watch party on my way home. Cheesehead TV for the win. They opened something creamy and cold to celebrate. You know what? I'm pretty sure they did. I think you're onto something there.
Well, we carry the G wherever we may be, so creamy and cold, and from the land of the green and gold.
Carry the G Cream Ale, the official beer of Cheesehead TV. Oh, my goodness. Oh, no, Robert. What's up, man? This is strictly for a pull of bourbon. I'll join you, big dog. Stressful win, but we did it. Robert, I mean, I just give the people what they want, right? If anybody was watching Watch Party, you saw I said prior to the touchdown they gave up to McBride, if they give up a touchdown here, I'm doing a pull of bourbon, which they scored, so I pulled. And now, Robert, for your $10 super chat, salud, brother. Good. God damn, that's good. I like it. All right, cheese guy, what we got? I'm trying to stay in the moment and enjoy this win. However, however ugly it was. But how the heck are we going to stop Aaron Rodgers with this secondary? They're going to play Rolodex coverage. They're going to lots of different stuff on the back end, but they got to win up front. And don't tell me you didn't watch that Bengals game and see a path to victory for the Packers. But yeah, man, Rodgers is going to have his opportunities, and he is undoubtedly, without question, going to have his moments on Sunday night. All you can do is hope at the end you got a chance to win it, which the Packers did today, which the Bengals did the other night. Rodgers is going to get his without question. Pack Russ, what's up, man? Nags, great meeting you two at the watch party last Friday. I just scored 27. Gutsy win today for sure. Pack Russ, thank you so much. Thank you for the support. Great to meet you. And thank you so much. Mimsy, what's up? Evergreen Matt LaFleur barely squeak out a win against scrubs. Shotgun runs, horizontal passing, third down, sweeps for no gain. Policy is watching, I hope. Mimsy, why are you a hater? That's what I want to know. That is the complete incorrect takeaway here. This is a phenomenal win from a team that, yes, made mistakes, but still pulled it out and still absolutely you should be proud of. Like, I get it. Like, the frustrating parts are very frustrating in the moment. But I dare you to watch any other football team in the NFL and tell me they don't make the same kind of repeated mistakes. Everybody's got an identity. Everybody's got issues. But, man, they found a way to win. Big call on fourth down there late in the game. Big call at the end of the half. These are the winning calls, but you're frustrated about shotgun runs? Mimsy, I'm begging you, man, change your perspective. Change your mindset. This is a huge win. This is a big win. By the way, Packers still in first place. Let's go. Soder, what's up? Valentine got 2 snaps. Bold strategy, Jeff. Yeah, it's definitely time. Definitely time to have that conversation because Hobbs, man, whatever they think about him on the perimeter, that ain't it. No doubt. Zachary, how are you, sir? Parsons equals worth it. Hobbs equals garbage. Offense equals inconsistent. Yeah, now that last part is certainly true. Sometimes it just feels like they need to get out of their own way. They need to make things a lot easier on offense. And Hobbs, I want to say he's trash because he's got talent, right? He just needs, it's pretty clear at this point. They have a whole boatload of corners that can play inside. I think Nixon can play outside. He's shown that. Hobbs cannot play outside. He has not been great on the perimeter at all. It doesn't mean he's not talented. It doesn't mean that he can't contribute. But wow, yeah, he needs to be in the slot. At this point, I think that's pretty apparent. Mike Witt, what's up, man? Did that performance by Micah kind of feel like Reggie's back-to-back sacks versus Denver his first year? No more Hobbs, Halfley, and more Valentine, please. I like how you got the positive thing in and then went to the negative. You're growing, Mike. I appreciate you. It's hard for me, and I said this, this after the trade happened. It's really hard for me to ever compare anybody to Reggie, but in the sense that it completely changed the tenor of the game because he was in the backfield so much, because he got the quarterback on the ground in key situations as often as he did. You're not wrong, Mike. I'm just saying it's somewhat similar. No question about it. And the Hobbs Valentine thing, yeah, we've talked about it. No doubt. Bobby, what's up? Let's effing go. Go, Pack, go. I like it. Andrew Ware, how are you, buddy? We got the W. You can't tell me nothing. Go, Pack, go. See, this is what I like to hear. Correct. Yes. Look, we got all week to pick over what went wrong, the mistakes that were made. Packers win. Packers win. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, Lieutenant Dan, what's up? Matt LaFleur game planning or Hobbs in the ugly? It's close. No, not even close to close. Lieutenant Dan. Come on, Lieutenant Dan. I didn't mind the game plan. I didn't love the calls. And I will say, I probably would have entertained this more if, the end of the first half doesn't happen and that fourth down call doesn't get made. But it's hard to argue that Hobbs has been hard to watch. Let's put it that way. Michael, thank you, sir. As ugly as this game was, it was nice to see them go get the win, not the tie as per usual. I love it. They get one tie, and it was like, oh, yeah, they're ties. They're playing for the tie. Yeah, one must have wanted the tie. Yeah, they always play for the tie. One tie. Come on, people. As per usual. Ed, what's up, man? Deciding to go for it on fourth after putting the field goal unit out there may prove to be really important. Couldn't agree more. Like I said, fulcrum of the season. Big possibility there. Braden, what's up? We finally got a takeaway and some points from it. Let's do it 16 more times. What a huge play. What a monster play. And this is what we've been talking about. The lack of turnovers being such a vexing point for this defense. You get one turnover, instant points. Although I will say, I did think it was funny, and I said this on Watch Party. You get in football, you're calling plays offensively. A lot of times you hear about quick change, like you get a fumble or a interception, and it's in like striking distance of the goal of the end zone. Like you get that first down, take a shot, go. Quick change, go. Matt LaFleur calls the handoff out of the shotgun, 2-yard gain. Baby steps, people. Baby steps. Let's go. Matt, thank you for being a Carry the G Club member. Appreciate you. The Cardiac Pack is back. Not sure if it was mentioned yet. Do we have a legit kicker competition on our hands, or is it too early to tell? Matt, I'll tell you what. Matt. I'll tell you what. Prior to this game, I would have said, yeah, all right. They just signed McManus to a 3-year deal. After that game and or that moment at the end of the first half, I do wonder if McManus has heard of Wally Pipp. I do wonder. Because holy cow, the substitute teacher has come in and made a claim to be the full-time gig, to have the full-time gig. I mean, we're close. I'm not saying we're ready. I doubt Brian pulls the trigger, but maybe they say, oh, hey, Brandon, take your time. Want to make sure. You want to make sure that leg is right. And they keep letting the kid kick. We'll see. We shall see. Mark, as Shakespeare once said, go Pack go. I love that. Tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow creeps its petty pace from day to day. Shout out, Mark. That's outstanding. Greg, thank you for the super chat. My heart cannot take these close games. Can we address the penalties somehow? How do you coach that? You don't. You coach it. You emphasize technique, proper technique, whatever. But at some point, it's on the players, man. And again, no one wants to hear it, but they are the youngest team in the league. And I know Brian said, well, we've got a lot of experience. We've got a lot of guys who have played a lot. Sure, great. Still making all the same mistakes. You know why? Because they're all young. They're all very young. So, yeah, no, there's not much you can do as a coach. You can continue to emphasize it. You can continue to drill it, whatever. But in the heat of the moment, you can talk about it and put it on its feet in practice, but you're not full speed. The only full speed reps these guys get at all is in game. And they're all barely in the league for a minute or two. And now they're being asked to go out there and execute. So, yeah, there's going to be penalties. Craig, also, I want to address my heart cannot take these close games. Welcome to the Cardiac Pack, as someone so rightfully said earlier. Man, I was born in these streets. Man, some of you all didn't go through Magic Man and Lindy Infante back in the day, and it shows. We're forged in the fire here, us old heads. You all used to like Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre, touchdowns, 30-point wins, whatever. Man, this is how we lived back in the day. It's all good. Dustin, how are you? Packers fans were so loud in the fourth. Great to hear. Hey, first of all, shout out to Packers fans in Arizona. On top of that, shout out to Tyler Herrick and Monte Moore and whoever knows who else there in Arizona. Outstanding work from Packers fans. All we do is go down to Arizona and get the win. Last second or no, W's in Arizona. Mike, thanks again. Maybe our offense gets going once 9 gets back. Him and Golden going deep. Got to open up the middle for Tucker and Dobbs, right? It's not just going deep, Mike, but yes, you are correct. And don't forget, I don't know if everyone's aware of this, but Wicks went out in this game with an injury. I know he's been dealing with a ankle, whatever. But, man, they were, they've cobbled together stuff on offense. But to your point, zero question, Watson getting back, being able to utilize him, his speed, and Golden's speed. And also, speaking of Golden, they need to draw more stuff up for Golden. He was so dynamic throughout the first kind of 6 games, and then today kind of felt like, I'm not going to say he got forgotten, but he certainly seemed to get sidelined a little bit. They need to draw more stuff up for him. That would be my plea to Matt LaFleur. Austin, speaking my language, man. I'm tired of Packers fans shitting on Matt. He went for it on 4th down to win the game, plus the 61 field goal at the end of the game. I mean, the end of the half. Also, Hobbs shaking my head. See, this is what I love. I appreciate each and every one of you getting your money's worth for every super chat, but I do also find it hilarious. It's always like the positives, and then at the end, the negative. I get you. I get you on the Hobbs thing. No doubt about it. But let's concentrate on the good stuff. Let's concentrate on going for it on 4th down. Let's concentrate on the 61-yard franchise record-setting kick at the end of the first half. Let's go. Jerry, what's up? Frustrating games, but our best ball is ahead. Go, Pack, go. Feels like you're referencing Mike McCarthy there, but I feel you. Juice, what's up? Genuinely, how much of today was because of the plane? I'm not going to pretend like it doesn't matter and it didn't contribute, because it undoubtedly did, right? But as I said on Watch Party, and I'll say here again, I just keep referencing Giannis when the Bucks were delayed because of plane issues or travel issues or whatever. And Giannis was like, we've got a pretty good life. We stay at 5-star hotels. Cars pick us up, bring us to the airport. We fly private. We walk off the tarmac. Our thing is there and we go, right? At some point, I get it. You were delayed and you didn't have your meetings and you didn't have your walkthrough or whatever. And certainly those are important components. But I'm sorry. After the first drive or two, that goes out the window for me. You are professional athletes and you are given more in service of your job than 99% of anyone else doing their jobs in the world. So I'm sorry. I have very little forgiveness for that. Now, I'm not saying it didn't matter. I'm not saying it didn't contribute, because I do think it did a little bit, especially given how disjointed and out of sorts they were early in the game. But at some point, you were 2 or 3 drives in. You're playing football. Go play football. I don't want to hear about, I got to my 5-star hotel a couple hours later than I expected. I don't care. You're judged by what you do between the white lines. Stop with it. Again. Lieutenant Dan. Oh, Lieutenant Dan's ready to be so upset. Dan, enjoy the win, buddy. Another scrub QB looking great against the Pack. Did you watch the Colts game last week? I can pretty much tell from your comment that you did not. The Colts are one of the best teams in the NFL currently. And I just say currently because who knows where it ends up, right? On the road in Indianapolis against one of the best teams in the league, Jacoby Brissett marched them up and down the field all game long. This is what we talked about on Happy Hour, much less on Daily. Packers got the win, dog. By the way, Micah Parsons got on the ground 3 times. Also, forced a fumble that led to points for the Packers, which contributed to a victory. My dog, my brother in Christ, I am begging you. Be positive, dude. Jacoby Brissett has played a ton of football. And the Packers certainly had moments where it looked bad. The 3rd and 23, awful look. 3rd and 13, awful look. But they also made plays. They got off the field when they needed to. They turned him over. I'm begging you, dude. That's all. That's where I'm at. Look at the positives. Mark, thank you for the super chat. A win's a win, but here we go. ... That was rough. Big improvement needed next week. P.S. Any CHTV folks meeting in New York the weekend of the Giants game? Go Pack Go. All right. I think I've belabored the idea that everyone hating on the win needs to take a breath. But to your point or your question about New York weekend of the Giants game, 1,000,000,000% night before the game, we will be having a meetup at Kettle of Fish in the Village on Christopher Street. We will have plenty of information blasting out on social, on the newsletter, which, by the way, if you're not signed up to the newsletter, do so right now. There's a link in the description of this video for you to do so. But yes, we'll be having a meetup at Kettle of Fish in New York, in Manhattan, the night before the game. And also, by the way, the day of the game, I will be at the game with my daughter. We're her first football game ever. Olive has expressed an interest, which she may regret, but we will be going to the game. I will be at the game, pregame, wandering the wiles of MetLife Stadium in the parking lot. So hope to see so many of you there. It's going to be a lot of fun. Kenneth, thank you for the super chat. The 2 best kickers since Prime Crosby are both currently on the roster. Kenneth, that feels and sounds insane, but you're right. You are 100% correct. Narv Dog is sitting somewhere going, oh, really? Really? But you're right. 100% correct. Soder, what's up, man? What day and time is the Matt LaFleur 3rd and short run call intervention scheduled for? I would like to participate. You know, I don't kill him for any of the 3rd down calls other than the spinner to Emmanuel Wilson after a timeout. That call, burn it with fire. Terry, thank you, sir. Matt LaFleur is a good coach. West Coast trip, 5-hour delay. Bourbon tastes good right now. See, Terry, it's just good to see someone with a proper perspective. Thank you, brother. Steve, thanks again. I did a rare pull of Victory Brown. Your brand? Oh, that's phenomenal. Thank you. The Driftless Glen here. There we go. Wait, get it in focus. There you go. And also, shout out. This was given to me during training camp, and I cannot remember the gentleman's name, but thank you so much because this is phenomenal. It's so good. So good. George, thank you for the super chat. Does Goody have a decision to make at kicker? Honestly, I doubt it, but the last 2 games have probably given McManus impetus to get back out on the field. And I'll tell you what, even when McManus gets back out there, I wouldn't be surprised if Goody keeps the substitute teacher around. I'm not going to be surprised if that happens. Mike, what's up, man? Bold strategy by the Cards, single blocking Micah during the most important part of the game. LOL. Mike, agreed. However, it clearly, like, the play call, the design of the play is meant to get the ball out of the quarterback's hand quickly in rhythm, and then it doesn't happen. So, hey, Shout out to Halfley in the back end, not necessarily just the secondary, also the linebackers. It all works in concert, right? Jerry, what's up? I'd take Bullard over Hobbs right now. Okay. Bullard in the slot is a very different animal versus Hobbs on the perimeter. Like Hobbs in the slot may give you everything you need, especially in coverage. But I hear you. Lewis, thank you, sir. We are winning games. Why do I feel like we still have an identity crisis on O? Still scoring 26 / a game. Weird feeling. Lewis, okay. Stop looking for identity. If there's anything the last 10 years have taught me, and this wasn't something that I thought early on, like in, I don't know, like the early Favre into early Rodgers years. Oh, they got to have an identity. Identity is bullshit. It doesn't matter. All that matters is moving the ball and scoring points, right? Packers have certainly done that in spurts. They haven't done it in a particular consistent way. But man, the identity doesn't matter. I get that, you're like, they need to focus on something or hang their hat on something. To a point, that is true. And I do think they will find it as they go along here. But try not to get too caught up in the idea of, if they're not doing it the same way again and again and again, they don't have an identity. Because right now, their identity is Josh Jacobs and Jordan Love. Today, Josh Jacobs was dealing with the calf and the illness, and he was clearly in and out of the lineup in a big way, right? They used Emmanuel Wilson way more than they would have if Jacobs had been 100%. But when Jacobs is right, he's clearly a major part of their identity. So when that's not available, you can turn to Jordan, and Jordan did some really good stuff today. Just do not worry about it. Like, worry about production and, obviously consistency, which they've been hit and miss, but try not to worry too much about, like, they're not going deep all the time. They're not throwing underneath. They're not doing XYZ. Just if they're scoring, like you just said, 26 a game, those are games they should win. Down in, down out, week in, week out, those are games they will and should win. And they did today. That's the most important factor. Doesn't matter how they do it. Doesn't matter who they're utilizing. With Tucker Kraft, Josh Jacobs, Romeo Dobbs, fucking Matthew Golden, whoever. It doesn't matter. Score the touchdowns. Get the points. Get the win. Jerry, what's up? After all that. Got to get Golden more involved. Need his first TD. I don't care about Golden getting his first TD, though it will be lovely. I'm all in on it. I do agree that he does disappear way too much, especially over the course of a game where you are somewhat struggling, right? To move the ball, move the chains, give your fucking quarterback an easy button. Feels like he could be that, but hopefully we get a little bit more of that as we go along here. Matthew, appreciate the super sticker. RCS, how you doing, man? Makes last week look real good. On board forever. RCS, you're my guy. Appreciate you, man. Brandy, how are you? The defense stood tall at the end of the game, closed it out. Can't ask for anything more. Also, week 7 already? Damn. Go Pack, go. Yeah, I had that thought this morning. Legit, Brandy. When I woke up and I was like doing the setting up stuff for the watch party, I was like, week 7? Ah, damn. Also, to your point, defense still got up at the end, right? So how many times all week we heard about they couldn't get a stop in the fourth quarter. They can't put a team away in the fourth quarter. Defense stepped up. Absolutely. I legit thought scored a little too early. Their last drive to go put 27 on the board, but defense shut them down. Exactly what you want. Joseph, thank you, sir. Told my 15-month-old if Micah gets a sack in the last drive, we win. Don't know if he understood what I was saying. It sure did love me running up and down the hall after we won. Joseph, I'm sure deep in his soul or her soul, the 15-month-old absolutely understood. You don't need to give me an excuse to tell the story about how when my youngest, Olive, was born, between the week where the Packers won against the Seahawks in the snow globe game, and then she was literally on my chest, dark room, everyone else is asleep. I'm watching Lawrence Tynes kick the field fucking goal for the Giants to go to the Super Bowl. Packers have lost NFC Championship game. I am brokenhearted, but a now couple day old Olive is on my chest, and I'm sitting there looking at her going, okay, it'll be all right. Things change real quick. Michael, how are you, man? When I said for the tie, I meant no for the safe 3 points with the kick. It was better to see them play for the win and bet on themselves in the fourth. Michael, I agree. Couldn't agree more. 1,000,000,000% correct. In fact, true story, it's exactly what I texted to Matt LaFleur right before we started. Mike, thanks for the super chat. Micah has got to be in the hotness this week. Oh, you think? He's not only the good and the good, the bad, the ugly. He is the hotness. He is all of it. He's 1,000,000,000% all of it. Jao Enrique Maquero. I butchered that. Thank you for being care of the G Club member. Great win. Love in the O-line clutch in the second half. Micah wrecking it. And as I celebrate, Matt LaFleur just called another third down shotgun lateral run. Go, Pack, go. Look, yes, correct. 1,000,000,000%. They are frustrating, but he's trying to take advantage of angles and like what the data, the analytics tell him they like to play on third downs. And so you see this presentation of, oh, we got 3 down linemen, 4 linebackers, the safeties and the corners are adjusted, whatever. We can take advantage. If we get a seal block here, we can get outside. Obviously, that didn't happen today. And I'm with you. I hate those calls. But you got to remember, they have way more information than we do. So I understand the impetus to try and take advantage of tendencies, what they will try to do in certain situations, etc. But yeah, I feel you. It's frustrating, no doubt. Porkmaster, how are you, man? I did scream into the void after the Packers took the ball away, and then the offense immediately committed a procedural penalty in their first play. And I'm pretty sure I said I did something similar on Watch Party. Like, can we just for once get out of our own way? Just once, just one time. Amy, so good to see you in Green Bay. Hope you're well. Matt was asked in his presser why he decided to go for it on fourth down off after putting the field goal group out there. He said it was the look of disgust on his QB's face coming off the field. Good job, Jordan. Okay, I do believe he was somewhat being facetious there, but yeah, I don't doubt like seeing your quarterback and or offensive folks like coming off the field like dejected, disappointed, whatever, maybe fed into it a little bit. But I also think there was probably someone in his ear, maybe Connor Lewis, who knows, being like, Matt, there's a really good chance we can get this, whatever. But hey, if Jordan Love's demeanor and or facial expression played into it, I'm all in. Like I said, that's who they should be. Mimsy, what's up? A positive. That kick was good by a mile. You're not wrong, right? Right? Like that thing was good from 70, maybe? Hot damn. And this is why I keep saying, like, Brian may say, like, hey, Brandon, take all the time you need. Ed, thank you, sir. Wayne and Larry were so depressed after that opening drive in the second half. Great that they are happy campers now. Yeah, well, of course they were, because it was very frustrating. And I get it. I do love how people like come to CHTV and are like, you guys are such homers, but they're like as big of homers as we are. And they're paid professionals. But like, I get it. Like, it was very, very hard to watch. Lewis, thanks again. Banks and Hobbs are why we are draft and develop. Yeah, but okay. I suspect you're joking, but you know, at the same time, Jacobs and McKinney are why sometimes it's okay to go paper over your mistakes in draft and develop, i.e. Dillon and Savage, right? But you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Jake, thank you, sir. I was at the game. Let's go, Pack. Parsons with the big time third down, Jake. Parsons was incredible today. Like I said at the start of the stream, you can't tell me that you get to the end of the year and you talk about this game and you talk about, oh, they're whatever they are, like 10 whatever and 1. Like, okay, or 13 whatever and 1. Okay, one of those W's you give to Micah for this game. No doubt. Matthew, thank you for the super chat. Great meeting you and Corey at the meetup last week, although frustrating that, oh my God, moment these games build an edge for later in the year. They do matter later in the year, and that's the thing. That's why I'm saying, like, you just keep stacking victories, especially against conference opponents. And I get the Browns' loss was very frustrating, but that doesn't kill you as much as losing in the conference, right? I love a conference victory. Stack the W's. That's all you got to do. Dustin, what's up, man? Love walking out of State Farm Arena today yelling, "Go Pack, go," with 30,000 other Packers fans. We played an NFL team and we winning. Yes, we winning. Correct, sir. That is a big victory. Lieutenant Dan, look at you. Look at you being positive, Lieutenant Dan. Golden always, all caps, comes through when needed. More now. Couldn't agree more, dude. And that's why I said, like, didn't love how he kind of disappeared from the game plan, apparently. But yes, you call upon him, he delivers. I'm in on getting the rookie the ball more and in bigger situations and whenever you need to move the fucking sticks. Andrew. The flight delay was Matt LaFleur's balls weighing them down. I mean, I don't know. We probably wouldn't be saying that earlier in the season, but fourth down decision, end of half decisions. Okay, there you go. Eric, thank you, sir. Wild how much and often Benkert bashes LaFleur. Okay. Yeah, there's no doubt that it's tough for a guy who got cut by the Packers and who apparently butted heads with LaFleur when he was in the meeting rooms, in the practices, whatever. But it's not like Kurt doesn't have points, right? It's not like he doesn't know ball, because he does, right? I will say, though, it is interesting how overt and obvious many of his criticisms of LaFleur are comparative to a lot of the other play callers and or coaches in the league. But I'm just, again, I don't want to like dismiss what Kurt has to say, because hell, I've been sitting here for, 40 minutes, whatever, complaining about certain calls, whatever. I don't doubt for a moment that Kurt is colored by his release from the Packers and has certainly built up a bit of animosity towards the organization and or LaFleur. But I don't totally dismiss his complaints. Now, I do, when he says they should, or the Packers need to get a new play caller or whatever like that, that's overreaction. That's momentary nonsense. I get it. Like, I don't pay attention to that. But look, it's not like Matt has always covered himself in glory as a play caller. So, Kurt, as a guy who, again, knows ball and also, again, has been in the building and knows what they talk about, knows what they emphasize, I'm not going to completely dismiss it. But for the most part, does he come across as a jilted lover? Yeah, pretty much. No doubt. Eric, thank you again. What did you think of Quay's play today? I thought he was phenomenal. I thought he was active. I thought he was all over the field. I want to go back and watch because you never really know watching like in the moment. But man, first blush, I thought he had a really good game. Now, clearly you hate the hands to the face or the roughing the passer penalty he had. Keep your hands down, get in the guy's chest, keep it in his grill. Don't take, a third down stop off the board, so to speak. But yeah, for the most part, I thought he played well. Now we'll see. Nathaniel, thank you, sir. We got ourselves a kicker controversy? Maybe. Sean, when do we get Haversick's number retired? I believe that will happen next week. Soder, thank you, sir. Lieutenant Dan watched a game of Eeyore Central at Eeyore Central. Sorry about messing him up. My bad. See, but like, yeah, he's always like that. I get it. Like Dan's an Eeyore, and that's fine. It's okay. However you want to fan. Stephen S., thanks for the super chat. Very happy with the play of Quay tonight. I think the O wasn't that bad, especially in the second half. Also, 61 yards, 2:50 a.m. here in Germany, going smiling to bed. Godspeed, man. I have nothing but respect for every European NFL fan. Holy cow, you guys are die hard. Imjin Rat, thank you. Jacobs' run to the one before his winning TD run was outstanding. What I loved about it, and I'm glad you pointed it out, was how he understood not just, down distance game situation, whatever, but also what was called was clearly between the tackles, and he was like, fuck that. And he knew he had the athleticism and the burst to get out and make something happen. I love it. Haroon, is Nate Hobbs just Kevin King in disguise? I would argue Kevin King was better. Joe, what's up? Brissett could start for several NFL teams. I mean, he's starting for the Arizona Cardinals the last 2 weeks. No doubt about it. Now, you talk about like being the, out of training camp starter. I mean, that's happened, right? He's been there, and it hasn't gone well. There's something to be said about a guy coming off the bench and being able to run the offense and tailoring your offense to what he's able to do well, etc. Right? Mark, thank you, sir. 100% loving the win and a lot of football left between now and February. Flying from Ireland for the Giants game. Look forward to seeing everyone. Go Pack Go. Mark, please tell me you're getting in on Saturday and come out to Kettle of Fish in Greenwich Village for the CHTV meetup the night before the game. Abdul, how are you, man? Hey, Aaron, when is Lloyd back? Could use him now. It's amazing to me. Abdul, this is not on you, or just directed to you. But it is amazing to me how obsessed Packers fans are, at least online Packers fans are, about a running back who has been injured and is on PUP/IR. And they're like, when is this guy back? Who I've seen play, 6 snaps, I think, of regular season ball. He is the ultimate lottery ticket. I have no idea when he's back. The Packers probably don't have any idea when he's back. Whenever he's back, we have no idea what to expect. You say they could use him now. What could use what? I have no idea. Like, it could be great. It could be terrible. It could be useless. I don't know, man. He is a complete mystery box right now. So don't worry about it. When he's back, and hopefully he contributes. Also, it feels like a slight of Emmanuel Wilson. I think Wilson did as much as could be expected of him in today's game. Mike Witt, thanks again, buddy. Even Corey has got to like the new kicker. Currently drinking a Kessler and Coke. We may disagree sometimes, but I still love what you and Corey do for all of us. Go Pack Go. Mike, you're one of my favorites. I appreciate your passion. I get we may see the game or feel the vibes differently, but yes, you are 1,000,000,000% a diehard, and I appreciate you. And as far as Corey, I guarantee you he doesn't give a fuck. As long as the kicks get made, he doesn't care what the name is on the back of the nameplate of the jersey. Doesn't matter. And if the dude misses, he'll be like, that guy sucks, abolish kickers. Even when dude is making a kick today, he's like, abolish kickers. So, yeah, I don't think that's changing anytime soon. Dan. Soder is not to blame. I've been Eeyoring for a minute. Dan, I'm well aware. Daniel, thank you so much for being a Carry the G Club member. A win is a win, baby. Go Pack. See, how hard is that? Couldn't agree more. Eric, thank you, sir. How surprised were you that Ryan didn't get snaps? Not surprised at all. I don't know if you've been watching Packers Daily and or CHTV for the last 10, 12 days, but I pretty much assumed they were going to put Jordan Morgan in at right guard coming out of the bye week, and I'm not surprised at all if he didn't play. And I didn't see specifically, I wasn't watching for it, but yeah, that's how rough it's been, dude. That's how bad it's been for Ryan. And it sucks because I know he's in a contract year. He's undoubtedly going to hit free agency unless the Packers give him like a vet minimum deal and he's like, oh, I'm just happy to have a job. Yeah, not surprised at all. Abdul, thanks again, man. I'd gladly pay $5 to say Hobbs is ass. I'll gladly take 23 back. At least he was good when he was healthy. Abdul, did you miss the opening game against the Bills where he was, to put it in your terms, ass and legitimately pretty much handed the Bills the win? Here's the dirty little secret about Jair. He wasn't that good even when he was healthy. Offensive coordinators respected him because of his name. But yeah, I'm not sure he'd give you much above Hobbs at this point, especially at the price point. I don't know, man. Lewis, thank you again. Question from my dad. Satisfied with the O-line as assembled or a move for depth to make? Well, they made a move for depth in activating Jacob Monk off of PUP. That's the Packers way. I do think as it was situated today and last week, that's probably your offensive line for the time being and going forward. Thanks again, Sir Lewis. Drink electrolytes tonight, Nags. Love CHTV. Go Pack Go. Yeah, I've certainly imbibed today, no doubt. Alex, thank you. Glad Matt trusted Jordan at the end. Go Pack Go. Couldn't agree more. I think he needs to do it a bit more, but yes, correct. Jack, I don't know what this means. Parsons and John Pork had a great day. John Pork, as opposed to John Chicken. But yeah, Parsons had a great day. Jerry, thank you. With all the Eeyores here, I'm a Tigger. That's it. Be a Tigger. I'm a Tigger. Tiggers are wonderful things. You can tell I got kids, right? And I always loved Tigger growing up. Ed, thank you, sir. Matt LaFleur, listen to you. Instead of the fake trying to draw them off sides, they actually went deep and come within inches of a TD. Hey, you're talking about the opening drive, right? Jordan had said right after the game, like, he just missed it. But damn, it was there. How great would that have been? I'm all in, baby. Chris, thank you, sir. Inconsistent, but we'll be better in December. Watson back soon to open up the field. Reed back before the playoffs. We good. Go Pack Go. Carry the G for the W. See, look at this person. Look at you, Chris Peck, and your positivity. What are you doing on the internet? This must be a wild world for you. Danny, thank you, sir. Great win on the road in the NFL is always a victory. The team is 4-1-1. Stay positive. Now let's get another one in Pittsburgh against our ex-wife. Parsons is a beast. Go Pack Go. That's a pretty great perspective right there. Scott, thank you, sir. Nags, if you were GM, what move would you make before the trade deadline? Probably none. I would probably do what Brian will most likely do. You make calls. You're always calling. You're always seeing who's available. You're always finding out, like, especially bottom of the depth chart. You're not making a big swing like you did with Parsons. That's a once-in-a-generational thing, right? Certainly you're looking, you're calling about probably offensive line depth because everyone does. Maybe some help in the secondary, etc. But, man, look no further than Marcus Lattimore, where the Packers reportedly made calls, right? And the Commanders ended up getting him. And everyone's wringing their, hands, gnashing their teeth. And he's been terrible for the Commanders on balance since that trade. So, didn't make the trade for Chase Claypool. And that turned out to be a good thing. Didn't make the trade for Will Fuller. That turned out to be a good thing. I get it's frustrating when you don't add at the deadline. But to quote the great Coach Wooden, do not mistake activity for achievement. And just because they don't make a trade at the deadline doesn't mean that they've missed out or haven't gotten better, because they're counting on improvement from within. Now, all of that said, could I see them making calls about corners and possibly overpaying for one? I'm not going to say it's an impossibility, because they've got the goods up front. They've got the goods once Devontae Wyatt, Lucas Van Ness. You've already seen what Micah Parsons can do. They can cook with gas up front, but you've got to be able to hold up on the back end. And maybe, just maybe, Brian makes that determination. but we'll see. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. Really appreciate all of your comments, all of you tuning in, both for Watch Party and here at the Gut Reactions post-game chat. Please do me a monster favor and hit like on the video. Subscribe to the channel, and then tell your friends and tell your family. Cheesehead TV, we are devoted to Green Bay Packers fans worldwide. Thanks a lot, everybody. See you tomorrow. Go Pack Go.